Okay, and we're off. Now I've set the microphone up, we can get going. Right. Today, wait there, let's just expose the elephant in the room here. It's the next day. In fact, even it's the day after the next day because it's 12:30 at night. And yes, I'm podcasting at 12:30 at night. Did I get out of bed at 3 p.m? Yeah, I did. Do I have any regrets? I don't think I do. Sorry. Anyway, today not we, although you can be involved if you want to. Today I'm talking about loneliness as an adult. Oh my God. That was so Janice. So loneliness as an adult. And I'm not talking about 80-year-old. I'm talking about me-year-old. I'm talking about 25, that weird, awkward in-between age, 25 to, probably 30. It's an age that you wouldn't expect loneliness, but yet it still plagues us. And I know that I'm not alone in this. I know that I'm talking to more than one person because my friends have had it too. And it's a weird thing that you think, well, only 80-year-old people get lonely, surely. I'm not 80, so why am I lonely? Okay, I've been on a long journey and I'm no longer lonely, so I wanted to get my shit together and talk about it to you to help you, because it's not a nice place to be. I couldn't believe it when I found myself 27 years old and lonely. I was like, where have all my friends gone? Why do I not have any friends? I'm supposed to be in the peak era of my life, living it up, going out, meeting new people. Am I? No, I'm not. All I was doing was sitting at home, being sad about how lonely I was, and watching Netflix and chilling on my own. So look, how did this happen? Now, I think some of it is a post-lockdown thing. I'm going to blame everything on lockdown, depression, anxiety, lots of things, including this, because lockdown and COVID taught us all to be lonely people and taught us all that it was okay. And we are innately very, very social people, just as in social beings, because we are people. And it was taken away from us. So, but not only was it taken away from us, it was also, we were made to feel criminal / maybe even were criminal for socialising. So I remember the first time I went out after lockdown kind of finished, and I was super anxious. I was I don't know, I just felt on edge, and I've never felt on edge before about going outside and seeing people, and I know it was because of that, because obviously I've never had it before, so I just said that. I think through school and our younger years, so through literally age 4 till aged 23 for me, we are basically forced into social situations. Our social bubble is built by who we are surrounded by. So we kind of don't really have a choice but to be social. We go to school every day, then we go to uni, and I was in uni till I was 23. So then I left uni and I went straight into F1, F2. You're in a really social group. Everybody wants to meet and get to know each other. Everybody wants to have a good time, and everybody wants to socialise and appear to be social. Get to F2. Now, obviously, if you're not a medic, then this is irrelevant. But let's say, okay, your first year out of uni job, everybody's social. They all want to make friends. And then it kind of fizzles out as the year goes on. And then next year it's no, I I'm done with socialising for my life, actually. So you leave all of this like school and uni, and then post uni work, socialising, and then you're kind of like, you're 25 and you're like, so like, how do I meet friends? Or, you know, everybody's in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, then you're kind of the odd one out. And then, I don't know, it's really like, it's so shit. So when I wasn't in a relationship, I was going out dating. I wouldn't really call that, like, I guess it is socialising, like it's meeting new people, but it's not like friends. And then it's very much you meet that person, and then if you don't get on, then that's kind of the end of your social situation with them. Like, bye, I'm never seeing you again. Hopefully not, anyway. And then what starts happening is everybody gets to the age where they're like, I haven't lived abroad or explored the world yet. So then everybody starts moving away. And half of my friends seem to be in Australia or in Wales or in Scotland or somewhere very far away. And it's not just like an easy, you know, they're next door and I can go and visit them and then like come home and everything's fine. Like socialising is now an effort. Blech. So it kind of becomes much easier for you just to sit at home and be on your own and not really, you know, make an effort to go outside, and you're like, pajamas. And then you just want to hang out in your pajamas and it's nice and warm inside, and why would you go outside? So I think then the negative thinking starts coming in, doesn't it? It's like, everybody else is socialising. Why am I not? Is it because nobody likes me? Yes, definitely because nobody likes me. So then it doesn't make you put yourself out there. Then you become even more of a recluse, and you're like, well, nobody likes me, so I'm not going to ask them if they want to do anything. And on goes the vicious cycle. Now, if you're single, well, I don't want to say you're fucked, but life is made very difficult for you. But also, as a single person, you end up putting yourself out there a bit more and going out and meeting people because you don't live with anybody. But when you get a partner, then, especially if you live together, there's no incentive to fill up your, sometimes no incentive, to fill up your social calendar and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go and see this person because otherwise I'm just sitting at home alone for a week. And then I'm going to talk about work colleagues. Now, sometimes you might get on with your work colleagues and sometimes you might not. If you do, that's pretty fucking great. Like, that makes work a big old party, doesn't it? Like, it is really good. And for me, work is a very, I don't know if I want to call it social atmosphere. There's a lot of people there. It doesn't necessarily mean they're nice or sociable, but, you know, sometimes I talk to patients and, like, it is a social outlet. But a lot of us commute to work, and when we commute to work, we often don't live very near where we work. So socialising with our work colleagues can be made a bit difficult. Okay. I also find that, I don't know, I think I've written weird or creepy, and now I'm like, what was I referring to? I think I was referring to when you ask somebody to go and do something that you don't really know that well, it can come off as very desperate, a bit weird, or a bit creepy. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute or a bit later. How do you overcome feeling very creepy or weird? So let's just talk about generally how to overcome loneliness, because I feel like my social calendar at the moment is rammed, and I don't know if it's because of January, or I don't know if it's because I've changed something. I like to think that it's because I've changed something, and I think I have. But I don't know, like a month or so ago, or two, I was like, why do I have no friends? I moved to Bristol so that I could be around more young people, and Exeter's fucking boring and there's nobody there that I know anymore. But I still found myself lonely because I was just... Anyway, let's talk about why. Because I think... Oh, sorry. Oh, I just burped, I'm afraid. I'm not even going to cut that out, so you'll have to listen to it and witness it for those of you who are watching. So, what was I talking about? I think I'm going to put it out there. Loneliness is somewhat self-inflicted, or at least it was for me. I'm not talking about for everybody, but it was for me. Okay? Because let me tell you why. I spoke to one of my work colleagues, and they were telling me how every weekend their social calendar was busy, like literally every weekend. And I was like, what? Who are you seeing? Like, I'm not seeing anybody. And then they were like, oh, just my friends from school or uni that I used to know. And I'm like, well, okay, so I'm still in contact with those kind of people, but why are you seeing them and I'm not? Or like, I don't know their friends, like they're different friends. But then I found out that their friends lived very far away, like London or something, like a good few hours away. And then it hit me. I was like, they are making the effort to go and see people. And do you know what I'm not doing? I'm not making an effort. In fact, I was kind of just hoping that people would message me and they would just spontaneously like erupt into my life, and social plans would just like spontaneously magic out of nowhere. But guess what? It doesn't happen like that anymore. You're not at university, you're not at school, you're not surrounded by people who want to be your friend. You are surrounded by busy people with responsibilities who are also probably making as much effort as you are, and you need to also put in that effort. So, what did I do? I was like, okay, if I'm not seeing people here, then I can, contact my friends that aren't in Bristol and be like, do you want to do something? I will come to you. That was pretty mind-blowing, because obviously they said yes, because they're like, yeah, I want to see you and socialise, because I'm also lonely as fuck. But also I don't have to make any effort. You've taken all that effort out of it for me. And then the next thing is it gets reciprocated. So this might sound like fucking obvious. Like, Dawn, shut up. No one cares. Isn't that obvious? You make an effort, they make an effort. But no, it wasn't. It wasn't obvious to me. I was like, why am I not seeing anybody? Like, anyway, I've got more pearls of wisdom than that, so don't skip off now. Like, I do actually have other things to say, that it's not just like make an effort. More like things that are a bit more I don't know, you'd be like, wow, I really am lost for words. Like, That's actually me saying that. Anyway, so make an effort, travel, go and take that trip to Scotland, Cardiff, London, Belgium. Go and see those people, because the answer is they will then probably come and see you later down the line. And if they don't, then they're either poor, lazy, or not very good friends. Sorry. So, after we move on from the logistical side, we then have to think, we need to target people, the right people. This is making new friends now, okay? So yes, travelling and stuff makes sense for old friends, and it can for new friends, but most of the time your old friends are the ones that, you're not going to be making new friends that live in Scotland unless it's like on holiday. But your old friends will probably be the ones that live in Scotland, and then you live in Bristol. So your new friends, right? Potential new friends. These are hard to make, okay? Because if you go out to a bar, if I went out to a bar now, everybody's in their social groups and they don't want to be penetrated. They do not want their social groups entered. Like, leave me alone. I've come out with my friend. I do not want you, random girl, coming and sitting on our table. Most of the time that's the case. Like, no. The only way you can get away with that is if you and them are very, very drunk. Now, this is actually something I've done in a festival because, my friend went to sleep and I was like ready to fucking go. And you say, I've lost my friend has gone to sleep, whatever, can I come with you? And that's the only time it happens. But then you don't see those people again. They're not long-term friendships. Now, what I've found, and I talked about this a minute ago, is, weird and creepy vibes can happen quite easily. I have tried to make friends or spend time with people that, in hindsight, I realised that they actually didn't give a shit about me, and just, not that they didn't like me, but they were not in a friend-receiving space. They're like, I've got all the friends that I want for now. I don't want to make any more friends. They just don't. And some people who are listening to this might also be like, yeah, I don't want to make any more friends. Like, they're not in a friend making space. They've got their quota, they're done, they don't want any more. They have 5 or 10, that is enough for their social calendar or the amount of energy they've got to give. And if you then approach somebody who is a bit equivocal and, you might have got on with them, but in that moment, they are not in a friend-making headspace. You are, and then you ask. And then you get the vibe that you sound extremely desperate. And you're like, they definitely don't want to meet up with me. Don't think that's because they don't like you. I've come to think, and I have no evidence for this whatsoever, this is just a theory. I've come to think that it's because they don't want any more friends, and they're just being polite, and they're just saying, yeah, let's do something sometime. Now, if that person does actually seem keen, right, my advice is that you make a plan. So they might seem keen because they might actively suggest, like, oh yeah, I'd love to go to this, we could do that sometime. Do not just as in, they've said that off their own back, and then you haven't been like, should we go, do you want to go do this? And they're like, oh yeah, cool. Like, that's kind of, no, they don't want to do it vibes. But if they've gone like, oh yeah, like, I'm really keen to make new friends, or like, you've got the hint, like, they're making moves to make friends. They're making moves on you, okay? So then you can go straight in. You need to organise and set that date, because I bet you it's lost words otherwise. Like, almost 95% of the time. If it's just like, yeah, let's go have a drink sometime, you need their number, get their number, you need their address, you need their shoe size, you need their belt size. No, I'm joking. You only need their number and their name. That's it. Don't get the others. I mean, you could. If you're picking them up or something, or you're buying them a belt, or I was going to make a really bad belt joke, but I'm not going to do it. I don't know, or you're they're borrowing your trousers or something. I don't know. Anyway, so you need their number and then set a date. Say, okay, I'm going to get... I don't know where my phone is. Oh, it's here. Get your calendar out. Say, okay, you want to go do that drink? Let's go. No, don't be that intense, because that will scare them off. It's a delicate situation, okay? Making friends is delicate. Right. Get your phone out. Get onto your calendar app, or whatever app you use for making events, and go, okay, when are you next free? You want to do this? We're doing it. I keep going real creepy. That's why nobody wants to be friends with me. So let's say I'm free on the 18th of January, or just be like, free days, weekends, evenings, like. And then, look, I don't need to tell you how to make plans. Just make plans. Put it in the diary. Organise something that you're doing. So you need to organise date, time, activity. Those are the three things you need to clarify at that moment and that time. Because if you say, yeah, let's meet next week for a drink. No, it's not happening. I'm fucking telling you. And if that seems intense, well, just be like, look, I need to organise my life, okay? Or for me, it's like, well, if I don't put it in my diary now, I will forget. So maybe I'm that person that says, yeah, let's do that, and then I just don't do it because I forget. So, yeah, you want to get their number and then set a date. I would then say, if you really want to spend time with that person, you might even say, oh, let's go to this theatre on Friday, which is actually something I suggested with somebody. And you can say, what you have to think of with new friendships is it's give and take. So you might say, I'll buy the ticket this time. And they'll be like, oh, are you sure? Like, no, that's okay. And you just be like, yeah, just get me a drink whilst we're there or something, we can just give and take type thing. And I've done that for a few friends, and that's worked out really well. And also, I don't want to sound super creepy, but getting a ticket for something is kind of like, I'm solidifying this time, so you can't just go, I can't be asked. Sorry. No, I paid money for this, so please come. No, look, I don't want to sound creepy, but I've said creepy a lot. I don't want to sound creepy, but the issue is with friendships nowadays is people are busy. People want to make money because, cost of living and whatnot. And people are tired after work. People have a lot of things vying for their attention. I'm not even sure that's the right word. Buying, asking for their attention. And you're a new person in each other's lives, and they might be less bothered about, in being in a friendship zone. Then you just got to put solid plans on it. I just don't like any of this airy-fairy shit. And look, it's worked for me. I've made friends. I've planned stuff. I've reconnected with old friends. And maybe that's why. Because I'm actually just saying, let's put a time and a date on it. I'm sorry if it's intense. That's what you're dealing with me, okay? That's what you signed up for. If you don't like it, bye. I think what I've learned in life, just generally, is that if you don't like it, I'm not going to change myself for you. So, sorry, but yeah, it's just like, I get it if I did something shit. Now that, yeah, I can understand. I might change myself for that. Like, as in, I might not do that again. I might learn from that mistake. But I'm not going to, like, change how I am as a general person to be somebody's friend. So, you accept me like this, or I'll find another friend. Bye. I keep saying bye. Okay. Okay. Next. I've also connected to that last one, which is some people just aren't wanting to make new friends. I've put, don't be too desperate, ? And I think what I mean by that is you don't want to keep pushing it. If somebody doesn't want a new friend, just accept it. It's not you, it's them. Like, or they might just not want to be your friend. Sorry, but it's true. And I don't want you to think that that's me saying you're not a good person or whatever. I just want you to respect yourself and be like, okay, that's fine. I'm sure I can find somebody who actually wants to be my friend and will appreciate how I am, and I don't need to change myself to try and make them like me. Life is about you, which sounds very selfish, and life is not all about being selfish, but you are the epicenter of your life, and therefore your life needs to be happy and not revolving around other people. So give me 1 sec, because this bad boy, the camera, is it only records for 30 minutes. I don't know why, but then I need to reset it. It's going to go off in like 10 seconds. So, 1 second. Oh. Oh, fuck. This room is like an actual booby trap. Like, at the last few seconds of my last podcast, I walked into the table and you can hear me go, ow! So if you didn't hear that, it's not on the YouTube, because by that point I'd actually turned off the video, but it's on the actual podcast audio. So I thoroughly recommend going to listen to that, because it's actually quite funny. It's literally me going, ow! Oh, I'm okay. So, now you don't actually need to listen to it, and you can just imagine that I walked into the table. Okay. Next, take up opportunities. Now, I don't want to make you get FOMO, okay? There are some times where you're going to miss out and you're tired, or you don't want to do that thing. Whatever. But I think if you're struggling for socialising opportunities, you've got to take those opportunities that you can get, okay? Now, we usually get FOMO in uni or for work, or when we've got an abundance of opportunities and you're like, oh, I don't want to miss out on this one. But when you're in a lonely situation, just take it. If that means, getting a bit less sleep for one day, maybe try it. Just a thought. Oh, this might be terrible advice, by the way. Let me know what you think, This is just what I've done. Doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody, but I'm having a good time talking about it, and I think it might help some people. So cool. Oh my god. This is okay. What I've written is find your people. Guys, I feel like I found my people in the Improv Theatre. I fucking love that place. Do you know why? I'm going to tell you why, so don't worry. But basically, medicine is very serious. It's also very moany. It's very serious, it's very moany, very much dependent on what department you work in. But everybody in medicine is like married or in a very, long-term relationship and doesn't really want to like necessarily engage with new people in their life, which is fine. But look, we're here to make new friends. So find your people. Now, I started going to the Improv Theatre because I actually heard on another podcast that is Colin and Samir, the podcast. It's basically for creators. So if you're not a creator, like creating YouTube or podcast or whatever, then it's probably not that useful. But if you are, then go check it out. So the Colin and Samir show, basically, I don't know if both of them took it, but Samir went to an improv class and he was talking about how he really struggled with the lack of control. Now, I was like, oh, okay, improv class. I've never thought about doing that before. But I might try it because it might help with my YouTubings and my podcastings. And so I went and tried it. They had some taster sessions. They were like £10. If you live in Bristol or any other big city with an improv theatre, go do it. I know it sounds fucking scary, but let me tell you, okay, I can talk about improv another time because I absolutely fucking love it. I think I'm addicted now. Actually, no, I'm not, and I shouldn't condone addiction or glorify it. I don't have an addictive personality. I'm quite lucky. I have slightly obsessive personality, maybe. I get a bit like really into things and I want to like do it and I want to finish it. But I don't think I'm addicted. If I never did it again, I probably wouldn't withdraw. But I'd be a bit like, oh, that's shit. I'd quite like to go back. I don't know. So anyway, I started going to that and then I realised everybody at doing improv is the kind of person that I want to hang around with. They are fun. They are people that just want to let go and they're not serious and they're also a little bit scared and they want to have fun. Did I say that one? I don't know. And also, most importantly, they all go on their own. Most of them. So they are all people who have either moved to Bristol or want to try improv new, as a new thing in their lives, and they go there alone. Now, the thing is, when people go to places with friends, is they don't generally care about making new friends. They're not gonna, they're just gonna stay with their friend, and it's like, ooh, okay, I'm just gonna talk to my friend because actually this is safe, right? When people go to places on their own, and also I found that when people go to places on their own, I always start a sentence and then just don't finish it. When people go to places on their own, they are much more likely to want to make friends and want to talk to new people. They might be a bit scared, but they're willing to do it. Also, I found that a lot of people who've started doing improv are doing it because they want to meet new people. So not only are they like fun, outgoing, and silly people, as in they're not silly, but like they don't mind, like being idiotic with me, which I love. They are out because they've started this new like course or they're learning a new skill. They And that's an important thing to remember, learning a new skill. They are doing it so that they can also socialise, because all of those people probably are in a similar situation to you. And I found that a lot of people have been like, I've just moved to Bristol, I want to meet new people, I want to do something fun, I want to do something I've never done before. So if you don't want to do improv, what are other things you could do? And I know this is like something obvious, like, you know, go join a new group, but there are specific things that are a bit more social than others, and I think sport is not one of them, actually. I've always found that it's been very, you join and everybody's already, you know, if you don't join when all the new people are starting, everybody's already in their new groups. So I think joining a thing where everybody started at the same time and you're learning a skill. So whether that's a different language, you go to a language group. But the most important thing is that everybody has the shared issue. I don't know if I call it an issue. The shared thing is that they're all new. So joining something, I don't know, let's say hockey. I joined my hockey group last year, or maybe the year before, like kind of a few weeks into the season, because I was in Cornwall for a bit. And as a result, also everybody knew each other from previous years. As a result, they already had all their friendship groups. Also, they were all quite a bit younger than me. And if they weren't, and they were a bit older, like my age, they had their own lives. They were just there to play the sport and go home. Whereas learning a new skill, like let's say you go to a pottery group, or you go to learn stand-up comedy or improv theatre, or I'm trying to think of other ones, learning how to speak a different language, learning how to paint, learning how to dance, I don't know, just starting a course and staying with those people, because making sort of longer term friendships is based off of spending enough time with those people that you've made a big enough relationship that you go, okay, let's do something again. Because it's very rare within less than an hour that you and another person are going to click and you're going to go, yeah, let's spend an hour a week with each other or longer for the next year after meeting each other for an hour. So I've just started a 6-week course. They might end up being, some of them might end up being like friends forever. How great would that be? Because we've spent 15 hours together. That's enough time. And we've also opened ourselves up to vulnerability with each other. And that is a great way to make friends, because you've all shared a common goal, a common issue, you've worked on it together, you've started from the same place, nobody else knows each other, and then you all come through it and get to know each other along the way. Also, just finding people that are your people. So I already said that, but as in, improv people for me are fun and outgoing and want to be silly. Whereas if I went and joined a Dungeons and Dragons group, for example, I don't know, and I'm not making any assumptions, I don't think that would be my kind of vibe. Like, I don't think, I'm all for trying new things, but I don't think it would be my vibe. And I don't know that they would be my kind of people. Or let's think of something else. Okay, I've got another one. A cookery group or a sewing group or a knitting group. They're all probably going to be quite a lot older and probably not, again, my vibe. So I don't know, but that's my assumption. My last thing to finish up today is offer fun suggestions. So for example, on this Friday, me and somebody from the improv theatre, we've said, oh, why don't we go to the improv theatre show on Friday together? We've met each other once, and that is something. It's not just like going for a drink, it's like going to something. It's fun, and it's something that's scheduled, so you don't have to be like, let's make a time and a date. Like, you just go, oh, we could go to this event that sounds really fun, and then you've got something to laugh at, you've got something to talk about afterwards. It's not just like, hi, so tell me about your life. And that is a real icebreaker. Everybody needs an icebreaker. Like, you don't want to be like a weird date. Like, icebreakers are the fucking bomb. Like, kind of literally as well. So just look at Google events, look at Facebook events, look at just sometimes adverts for events. So my friend Izzy, wait, I just named her, I don't think she'll care. My friend Izzy sent me something today that was like, do you want to go and do a donut decorating session? And I was like, yeah, cool. But like, that came up on Facebook or on Instagram or something, just like as a post, or maybe it was an ad, I don't know. So she just sent me that, like, do you want to do that? Just send people fun suggestions, and it's like, it's so much better doing that. And yes, it might be paid, but it's so much better doing that and having like a focus to your meetup than just going, yeah, let's meet for a drink or go for a walk. I mean, you might really like walking, that's fine. But for me, I like to have like something that I'm going to, and then it feels less intense. Like, let's talk for 2 hours non-stop, especially if there's only two of you and you don't really know each other. Anyway, it's very late. I've been asked to if I'm about to finish. Yes, I am. It's been like 45 minutes. I think that's enough. I actually think I've come to the end of my list as well. If you guys have anything else that you've done... Oh, I did actually just forget. I did something called Meetup. It's an app. You can join it for free. And then you can find local meetup groups. This is not like an ad or anything. I actually think it's quite a good app. It's basically for lonely people like me. And I did go on one, and I did enjoy it. I don't think they were my kind of people. They're not people that I'd be like, yeah, I want to spend a long time with them. But I enjoyed the activity we did, which was like go for a walk, which I might not have done on my own, because it's like, oh, I've got to drive all the way to Dartmoor, and you know, it was just, you know, took like an hour to get there. So having someone that you're going to meet, even if you don't necessarily want to see them again, like, at least it gets you out and doing stuff. But Meetup is a really good app. Like I said, it's free, just download it, and then you can join loads of like meetup groups in your local area. And they've got loads of stuff. They've got like walking groups, they've got like, probably, I don't know, I didn't actually look at anything else, it was all just outdoor stuff, but like pub meets, quiz nights, stuff like that. So yeah, go check that one out. And all those people are willing to make new friends, and that is the takeaway from today, is try to find people that actually care about and want to make new friends, because there's no point trying to wheedle your way in to making friends with someone who literally doesn't care. Anyway, thanks for watching / listening. I'm actually going to have my friend on the podcast in a few weeks, and I'm very excited. I'm loving how everybody's getting into making content with me. Like, seriously, friends, if you're listening, I'm very much enjoying it. Like, I don't know what's happened. Something's changed. Maybe it's because I've stopped making doctor content, or because I'm making so much. I don't know. Or maybe because my whole life is consumed by content creation, that they're like, how do I spend time with Dawn? Okay, I'll make a video with her. I don't know. But no, I suggest it. I'm like, we could do a video together if you want. I'm very open to doing that. And then lots of them have been like, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they've gained the trust in me that they're like, okay, she's not going to humiliate me on public online space. She's not doing crazy shit that I don't want to get associated with. Anyway, bye. I'll see you tomorrow/today. Look forward to it. I don't know what I'm talking about yet, but that is the fun of my life, is I don't know what's coming next. It's very unplanned. Oh, that is something I did forget to say. Life is full of events, right? If you're a working person, you're busy. So sometimes you need to book to see friends 3 or 4 weeks in advance. And that is, that's just the way life goes. Don't be afraid to do that. Contact people in advance. Don't contact them like the night before and say, do you want to do something tomorrow? They might just be very busy and that's not possible. So if you contact somebody, say, let's do something in, this date, 4 weeks from now, or whenever they're free, 6 weeks from now, at least then you've gauged, because they might book their calendar up 4 weeks in advance. I also just remembered something else. Look, if they don't want to commit to seeing you in 6 weeks or whenever they're next free, in my opinion, I'll be like, look, if you don't want to do anything, can you just say, and then I'll stop bothering you? Like, that's fine. But if you do want to do something, can you please just give me a date that you're free and we can arrange something? Thanks. That has solidified for me in my mind, this person does or doesn't want to meet me. And that's fine. I don't care. I just want to know. I don't want to keep trying to maintain a relationship when that person, is too busy or doesn't want to. I don't know. Anyway, no, I am actually done now. Thank you for watching, listening. Leave comments down below. Please subscribe. Please, I did say yesterday, please consider subscribing to my Patreon page. I'll leave it in the description. And give it a review as well, the podcast. Okay, so it's actually gone off of, the battery's just died on my camera, so I'll finish this off on here. Please leave the podcast a review on whatever your listening app is. I would really appreciate it. It would help show it to other people. And yeah, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's just at Dawn Barlow, and then social media, and anyway, you don't care about that, and nor do I, to be honest. But yeah, I love to hear from you. If you want me to cover anything, I definitely will, if it's suitable for the content. Just leave it in the comments, or I don't know, send me an email, contact@diariesofadoctor.com, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, love you.